The US President Donald Trump has told a news conference that the Russian President Vladimir Putin has let him down on a peace agreement for Ukraine. Mr. Trump was speaking to reporters on the final day of his state visit to the UK. Standing alongside the Prime Minister Keir Starmer, the US President said he felt that he had an obligation to end the war in Ukraine.
The day kicked off with a farewell at Windsor Castle. Donald Trump heaping praise on his host.
He's a great gentleman and a great king.
From there, it was off to Chequers, a Marine One helicopter, where he met with the Prime Minister Keir Starmer for a bilateral meeting and business reception. The pair also signed a tech prosperity deal.
And we'll have regulation, but it'll be sane regulation. It'll be regulation that allows you to compete and do your thing.
Meanwhile, the First Lady stayed at Windsor Castle, where, along with the Princess of Wales, she met with young scouts.
What are you drawing?
But the focal point of today was the press conference back at Chequers. Among the many issues discussed, Gaza. The Prime Minister questioned on whether recognising Palestine was rewarding Hamas.
Let me be really clear about Hamas. They're a terrorist organisation who can have no part in any future governance in Palestine. And what happened on October the 7th was the worst attack since the Holocaust. We have extended family in Israel. I understand firsthand the psychological impact that that had.
On Ukraine, Donald Trump expressed disappointment again with the Russian president.
Well, he has let me down. I mean, he's killing many people and he's losing more people than he's killing.
Donald Trump was also asked if he had sympathy for the recently departed UK ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, over his links to Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know him, actually. I had heard that, and I think maybe the Prime Minister would be better speaking of that.
And with that, it was time to say goodbye. The President and First Lady left for Stansted Airport, where they boarded Air Force One, which took off a short time ago, bringing an end to this historic second state visit.
And Tommy joins us now from London. Tommy, free speech, immigration were among the topics discussed. But as far as press conferences go, it was rather well behaved, wasn't it?
That's right, Sharon. I think the British government will be pretty pleased with how that press conference went, especially given that it was the final event of this state visit and it passed off without any major incident. There were a few areas of disagreement, perhaps most notably in the area of Gaza. The British Prime Minister reiterated his plan to recognise the state of Palestine. Donald Trump obviously disagrees with that approach, but you could say today that it was a polite disagreement. Now, there were a few raised eyebrows, even laughter in the room when Donald Trump claimed not to have known Peter Mandelson, the former UK ambassador to the US. Mr. Mandelson, of course, was removed from his role exactly a week ago today over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Peter Mandelson has been in the Oval Office on several occasions. In fact, he was there just last week with the First Minister of Scotland, John Swinney. So not many people will buy that assertion from Donald Trump that he didn't know him. As you saw there, Air Force One took off just a few minutes ago, and I think many in the government here will be breathing a sigh of relief, but they will also say that this state visit was a success. Now it was a visit that divided opinion. Not everyone was happy that Donald Trump was here, but Downing Street will argue that this was a visit that helps to forge closer ties with Donald Trump, especially at a time when Keir Starmer seeks to work with the US President on a number of global issues.
London correspondent Tommy Maskell, thank you.